What is going on, guys? Welcome back to a new video. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you my experience and the benefits that I found from using the Nike Alphafly super shoe, and especially if this super shoe can benefit average, mediocre runners like myself. I could make this video very short. It could literally last the next 10 seconds, and that is yes, they give a massive benefit even to average, mediocre runners running a 5 minutes per kilometer pace. But I'm gonna go more in depth and explain to you guys more insight and share more of my experience in testing them out, running in them, and doing an Ironman in them. I'm making this video because it is kind of like a myth, especially in Facebook groups, that super shoes do not give any benefit to mediocre or average runners. And this cannot be further from the truth. In my personal opinion, anyone who says that needs to shut the up, because they clearly have no clue what they are talking about. Usually, if you go and dig deep, these people who say that they offer no benefit haven't actually tried the Alphafly. They've tried some other carbon-plated shoe. They've tried maybe Hoka, Carbon X, or they've tried the Vaporfly. But the Alphafly is a completely different shoe. It is completely different from any other shoe that I've ever tried. From the moment you put them on, to the first steps running and to running kind of like your go all day pace, they are a completely different experience from normal running shoes. I got the Nike Alphafly because I was desperate to get any free speed that I could for my last Ironman in Tallinn. The clear choice was get the Alphafly. Everybody's always talking about the Alphafly. The Alphafly is sick. The Alphafly is awesome to run long distance. The Alphafly is super cushioned. So I said, let's do this. I got this pair discounted online. It was right around when the Alphafly 2 came out, but all the things that I'm saying in this video can apply to the Alphafly number 2. I believe that the Alphafly number 2 is even better for one key detail that I will say further along in the video, and I'm actually planning to get the Alphafly 2 as soon as these wear out. In my running experience, I had tested the Zoomfly and other carbon-plated shoes, but this was the first like real super shoe that I was testing. I am actually a super diehard Hoka fan. I normally run in the Bondi 7 and the Stinson ATR 6 for trail running. So it was kind of like a leap of faith going back to Nike, but I'm so glad that I did it. My average running pace is absolutely nothing spectacular. I'm a mega mediocre runner. I have like one gear that I can hold for a long time, but I'm not a good runner. My half marathon pace is in a 70.3, so I did 1 hour and 39 minutes for the half marathon, and I did 3 hours and 50 minutes in the Ironman marathon, so absolutely nothing spectacular, nothing elite. But that is the key reason why I'm making this video, because being so average, being so mediocre, I can really attest to how these shoes can give you a massive benefit, even if you are not an elite runner, even if you are not Kipchoge, even if you're running a super basic pace like 5 minutes per kilometer, these shoes provide a massive benefit. From the second that I put them on, I could feel that these shoes were unlike any other shoes that I've ever tried, even just walking around with them. They are mega cushioned. They feel so soft. To be honest, I was having some problems with the arch of my foot, which is a very common thing. They were really, really uncomfortable on the arch of my foot. I attribute this to especially the fact that I've been running in Hokas for like 3 years now. So going back to a like more narrow shoe, a more racing shoe, I think that gave some problems. But as soon as I received them, I took them out for a run, and the first thing that I noticed was these shoes it's like someone is pushing you from behind. At any pace, it feels like someone is literally pushing you from behind. And not only are they like stiff, like a carbon-plated shoe, but they offer this incredible like push and energy return that I attribute to the Air Zoom pockets that are under the midfoot, and it really feels like someone is pushing you along. My normal pace and the effort that I was holding on that first run was maybe something around like 5 minutes per K. Well, I ended up running like 4:30 per K, basically without changing any effort. That is absolutely insane. Now I've tested them out even further on shorter runs, on long runs, and these shoes are so much fun. It's like when you wear them, they're so squishy. You go outside, you run, and you can just feel this improvement at any pace. I tested them out running really fast, which is something that I don't do often, but with these shoes I feel confident in doing because they are so cushioned. They are massively cushioned, more cushioned than the Bondi 7 or 8, to be honest, which is something very weird for a carbon-plated shoe. Usually they are kind of like stiff. They have some cushion, but not that much. That's why I say that it's a completely different shoe from any other shoe. It is super energy return, and it also has this massive cushioning. So any problem that I was having maybe with like some tiny shin splints or stuff like that completely disappeared when using the shoe, which is something that I don't really know how it's possible, but it's possible. And for the focus of this video, and that is how can they benefit the average runner? Well, I have a benefit from these shoes, my personal experience. So I'm not talking from forums or reading stuff online. My personal experience when testing these shoes out, racing with them, is that at any pace, also when you are slow, when you are kind of like targeting, I don't know, 5:30K pace, let's say, you're running slow. Well, these shoes will make you run at like 5 minutes per K. That is insane. With these shoes, for me, it is effortless to keep a pace under 5 minutes per kilometer, which is massive. Maybe with normal shoes, well, with the Bondies, I would be running 5:25K. With the Bondi X, which is a carbon plated shoe, I would be running maybe 5:10. Well, with these shoes, I'm running steadily with no change in effort, same heart rate, same exact route. I am running under 5 minutes per K. How much do you have to run in these shoes to get used to them? Well, personally, I ran 6 kilometers in them, and the next thing I did was my Ironman. I'm not advising to do that, but I'm saying it's possible. It worked perfect. I had no problems at all. It can be done, basically. I would have run maybe one more long run in them before the Ironman. I just thought, I'm not gonna test my luck. I'm not gonna see if these things give blisters. I'm just gonna run the marathon in them. It's gonna be like 3 hours, 4 hours, and I will just get through it. Even if I get the most crazy blisters in the world on the arch of my foot, I will get it done. And during the Ironman marathon, man, these shoes really helped so much, especially in the beginning. They've just gave me an extra 15, 20 seconds per kilometer. That is a really huge improvement. It's massive. And that feeling of someone pushing me from behind was absolutely there also during the Ironman marathon, which is not at a fast pace. That's the thing. An Ironman marathon, you're already tired, so it's not going to be running 4-minute Ks. For me, it's going to be, my target marathon pace was around like 5:10, something like that. It ended up being slightly slower because the Tallinn marathon course is pretty hilly, but there was an undeniable benefit from having these shoes and using them on race day. So use your own judgment. That is just my personal experience. Another thing that I often read on like Facebook groups is that these shoes are okay only if you are a midfoot striker. That is very simply not true. I try and strike underneath the shoulder line at basically any pace that I go, but I make contact with the ground with my heel. It provides a big benefit even with this running style, which is nothing fancy, nothing beautiful, but these shoes work. Now let's get to the downsides. So the first downside is the price. They are extremely expensive. For a running shoe, it really does mean that you need to be dedicated to the craft of running, or you really want to nail a race or an Ironman. It's like an Ironman, you've invested already so much in it, you might as well just spend those extra 50 euros and get the Nike Alphafly and just run the fastest marathon that you can with your current fitness. But yeah, the price is really high. This leads into the second downside, which I don't really know yet if it's a downside because there are a lot of contrasting opinions, and that is how long these shoes last. So some people get 1,000 kilometers out of them. There are some videos on YouTube about people getting 1,000 kilometers out of these shoes, which is pretty insane actually. But then on the flip side, there are other people who are having big problems with these shoes. The sole is running out really fast. They're getting consumed. So this is something that I still need to test. And for now, the shoes are perfect. The sole is still completely intact. I've run around, I don't know, 150 kilometers in them, and they feel basically like brand new. I really want to keep these for like races or special events because of this benefit that they provide. Another downside that I found was that arch, kind of like crazy feeling, but the thing is, I only get it when I'm walking in them. When I'm running, I absolutely have no problem at all with the arch rubbing. So if you get these shoes and you feel that problem with the arch, please just test them out running, see how it goes, see if you get blisters, because personally, I got 0 blisters and that problem is a non-issue while I run. Another big downside, but it's more something that you need to get used to, in my experience, was that these shoes have a low drop. It's like 4 millimeters, which is kind of low for a Nike shoe and for a racing shoe. And I thought it would have been okay because Hoka's have 5 millimeter drop or 4 millimeter drop. So I thought, dude, it's going to be fine. Well, it turns out that with such a high performance racing shoe, that actually caused a lot of stress on the insertion of the Achilles tendon and the calves, both right and left. And I felt this during the first run, and I felt it during the Ironman marathon, especially because on the last loop, there were a lot of uphills and downhills. And with fatigued legs, this was kind of like an issue, as in I was feeling a lot of discomfort. Not really super hardcore pain, like not injury type pain, but a bit of discomfort. And I attribute this to the low drop, so to the 4 or 5 millimeter drop. Well, it turns out that the Alphafly version 2, which is out now, I believe resolves that problem because they made the drop higher. I think it's 8 millimeters. So if you buy a pair of Alphafly 2s, I personally believe that you will not have this problem, but I unfortunately can't speak for that because I don't have experience with them, but that is what I believe to be the case. One workaround that I found, if you don't really want to use this racing shoe all the time, is to use another shoe, and that is the Bondi X. The Bondi X is my current favorite shoe. It's the funnest shoe that I own. It is very different from the Alphafly. It is basically a version of the Hoka Bondi, but with a carbon plate inside. So you get carbon plate plus the most massive cushioning there is on the planet, basically. And they are so much fun. They are very different though from the Alphafly, as in the Alphafly is super squishy and it has this incredible energy return. And I would describe the Bondi X, when you run, it has like this click every footstep that you do. It does provide benefit. It is a minor benefit. The Bondi X will give you like 10 seconds per K, whereas the Alpha will give you like 20 seconds, 25 seconds per K. And as you go up in speed, I assume that gets even greater as a benefit, proportionally speaking, so in percentage. But if you're looking for a running shoe that is carbon plated and has maximal cushioning, but doesn't have the problem of fatiguing the Achilles tendon and the calves, you could potentially look into the Bondi X because it is a really great shoe. I'm going to make a video dedicated to that shoe because I've tested them so much and it is so much fun. Costs quite a lot, or even there I would get it on sale, but it is very different from the Alpha. I would just describe it as a carbon plated max cushion trainer, whereas I would describe the Alpha as a proper super shoe. So the Nike Alphafly, the super shoe, is it worth it for average runners? Guys, in my personal experience, yes. And I'm making this video because I really truly believe that this point needs to get across. If your goal is to max out as much free speed that you can for your next Ironman or marathon or half marathon or whatever, these shoes will give you a benefit. And if you have the money, I paid, I think, 210 euros for them, 212 euros, get them. Because they really do change the running experience, and basically they make your mechanics work better and you run faster. So guys, I hope this video is useful. If you were on the fence of getting these shoes, my personal experience is 100% get these shoes because they have incredible characteristics. They will help you with your running, they will make you go faster, and you will get fast times in your races. And also, I believe they are super fun to use. They're just really fun to use. I don't spend money like this often on shoes, but in this case, it was 100% worth it to get them on sale. 210 euros, I think, is the right price to pay for these shoes. 300, no way. I'm not going to spend 300 euros on these shoes. I'm going to wait for the Alphafly 2 to go on sale and get it on sale. 300 euros for a pair of shoes, to me, it's like completely bonkers. It's insane. That money could be spent elsewhere on power meters or Super Sapiens or on completely other different things that I think can help more. Just need to wait a couple of months and get them on sale. So guys, let me know what you think. Let me know what your experience has been with the Alphafly, if it has been as transformative as mine was, because mine was pretty mind-boggling. I'm still kind of like in awe of these shoes and how they perform. Sorry I've been slacking on the uploads, but I've been really hard at work on my like normal day job. I had a big project in Spain, which now I'm finishing up, but it took away so much of my time trying to make some good money so that I can then reinvest in stuff that can take me on other adventures and make videos for the channel. But now I'm back to making videos, stoked about it, stoked to share with you guys some stuff that I found helpful. And in this case, it's running shoes, super shoes, Nike Alphafly. If you like this video, please consider subscribing to the channel for more content like this coming your way. Cheers and thanks for watching.